Hello, everybody. Here I am again. I'm going to talk about a bunch of different little things here. Just, I guess, some things that I kind of need to kind of get out of the way because they're like little details that are kind of keeping me from getting to bigger subjects, bigger topics, um, uh, hurdling bigger hurdles because I'm still working with these speed bumps, but. Like, has anybody noticed the list of the 12 tribes of Israel? Um, I used to have a number in my mind. I used to know it's like 22 times throughout the Bible. It's listed, even in the book of Revelation or Revelations. The 12 tribes of Israel um, are mentioned, but it's like 14 different names that they work with actually through in all these different lists. Um, and it usually fluctuates around 13 different names. Of course, Joseph always gets dropped off. His two sons are sometimes in there, sometimes they're not. It's understandable. There are times when the Levi is left out, but then the number is always it's basically 13, but there's 14, but there's actually just 12, right? Yeah, the inconsistencies there. That's Jeremiah 8:8. It is. So, um, in that matter, it does matter. Um, all these itsy bitsy little details actually they do matter. They accumulate into being a big deal. It's kind of like, let's say you're a sniper, long distance shooter. Um, you know, you could right here where your sights are, your scope or whatever. You could be off by just like a hair, just like a millimeter, like just barely anything off. And by the time it reaches its target way out there, it's way off. You miss the mark completely, and that's actually where Christians were, and Muslims and Jews, and everybody. Like I wouldn't even be wasting my time if this was, it's not a waste of my time, but I wouldn't be here talking if I didn't think I had something to offer that it feels like obviously it's pretty obvious to me. It's extremely obvious to me where everybody's missing the mark, like completely missing the mark. All because like up here they're off by just like a hair. But out there where the target actually is, they're way off. You only have to be off by just like a fraction right here to be way off and not hitting the target way out there. See, and that's actually happening. Like I actually pulled myself together and made myself watch a little Billy Graham like a month ago, and I was like, oh my. See what this is where everybody is so far off, like so far off. Like when I listen to Billy Graham, I'm like, oh man, I don't even know if he's gonna be there. Is he a worker of iniquity? He may be. In fact, okay, like I've given you some like parable type stories, right? I didn't make them up. It's not my imagination, folks, and time will prove that. Now, I will say I've given like three that I can remember right now, and they're the best ones are I haven't even given. I haven't told the best ones yet. The best stories have not been told. Um, when I hear them, when I see when I'm in these visions, in these dreams, when these things happen, it's like I'm right there. But then when I go to retell you guys, it just doesn't. It's never as clear. It's never as like I kind of always leave a little something out somehow. And um, I fight the pen. Yeah, I've put away the pen, the spirit of penemu. I don't practice. I'm trying to be like Christ. I'm not writing scrolls. So, but there are some times where I'm like, man, if I'd have just kind of wrote that all down, it might have been a little bit more clear than me just kind of here shooting from the hip and kind of trying to convey these stories like within the short little time frame I have on my recording time when I'm just being rushed, and then I'll post it because it's the gist of it is there, but there's some heart, there's some when I get these messages, it's like it's I want to cry with happiness, but I'm not able to. I'm not an actor. I'm not a storyteller. I can't deliver it with such in those ways. The way I receive it, it's awesome. The way I deliver it, maybe not so awesome. So anyway, there was a parable I told you about where I'm spreading these seeds, and when the seeds take root, the roots will be large enough that they'll divide the mountain. That one. It's already happened. See, it's already happened. See, I wasn't lying. It's the truth. Yep, and that was like a year ago or something. I don't know. Then in the other parables, let's see, there was the wedding bride. I didn't make that up. But the one thing I did get from that is that from the beginning of time to the end of time, the bride will have seen it all. There's not a whole bunch going on, like the bride gets whisked away and then this other stuff happens. No, once the bride will be there from the beginning of time to the end of time. Her eyes will have witnessed all of time. So to me, that kind of clears up some rapture stuff, right? And tribulation and whatnot. Yeah, at least it did for me. And then let's see, what was the other one? I'm drawing a blank right now. Must be a reason for that. So anyway, there's all these little details. Sometimes it's like a little Jeremiah 8:8 that matters big time. When I lay down the real Jeremiah 8:8, folks, yeah, it's like people will be like, "Oh, I do have blood on my hands." Like, yeah, hurry up and share this. Hurry up and share what I'm saying. I only look. I'm sitting here. I only got so much time here, folks. And let you know, the reed is not used to measure time, folks. It's the wrong tool. You don't use the reed to measure time. So just to let you know that. I don't know if that helps anybody, but I wouldn't trust my measurement on time. But I don't think there's much more time before I have to kind of lay down some information that a whole lot of people need to hear all at once, and not really gathering a whole lot here on the old harvester front. Yeah, I'm trying to get some harvesters to hear me, actually, right? And all those other people all of our enemies that we're supposed to be loving, right? So anyway, wow, there's so many other things I need to talk about. So okay. So my father lets me know all these little details that everybody's missing. Everybody's missing. Everybody's missing. Here's a little detail that might seem like it's nothing. Okay. In the week of creation, before God created man, he created animals, right? Right? But animals came first, right? Then us, right? But if you look at the animals, he made wild animals and domestic animals for us. Domestic animals for us, before he even made us, okay? The whole earth is subdued with mankind to the point of destruction. We get the Noah's Ark story. Noah loads up all these animals, the wild and domestic. God made them two separate things. Noah knew to keep them two separate things. Jacob, who is Israel, not so much, right? Yeah. Like, did anybody catch that little detail? Or how about this? No. Jesus knew that his disciples were not paying attention and listening. Yeah, he was totally aware of, like, okay, well, I hope you guys record what I said, because I'm saying what I'm saying. You guys obviously aren't hearing what I'm saying. You're not listening to what I'm saying. Like this. Did he prophesy that, that he was going to die? Many times. Did they ever really get it? Nope. They never really got it. They never really got it. They were in denial. They weren't listening. They weren't paying attention. He let them know multiple times. He like Jonah in the whale. He's going to be in the heart of the earth for 3 days, 3 nights. The oil. His body's being prepared for the burial. Like he definitely let them know, I'm going to die and you guys are going to bury me. But he also let them know, let the dead bury the dead. They weren't listening. Yeah, I mean, my Heavenly Father let me know, like, if I would have been there, I would have ruined it, like, 3 times over. Like, I would have turned Judas over before he had a chance to turn Jesus over. If I would have failed at that, like, I would have been like, hey, guys, just leave his body up there on the cross. He said he could lay down his life and then he was going to pick it back up again. Let's just wait around for the evidence of that. 3 days, 3 nights like Jonah, right? 3 days, 3 nights like Jonah. Let's just leave him up there on the cross, because he said, let the dead bury the dead. But he did prophesy that they weren't listening, because he prophesied that they would bury him. Yeah, they went ahead and buried him, even though he commanded them to let the dead bury the dead. So he didn't follow the command. I mean, by nature, by circumstance, by just this is how we do things. They buried him. So Jesus was a prophet. Like, well, anybody could have said that, right? I mean, basically, right? You're gonna bury me. I mean, right? If I die, you'll bury me. Well, of course. I mean, like it was tradition there at the time. Those types of people would bury their dead. So it's really pretty obviously when he was the prophet saying, you guys are going to bury me. But he commanded them to not do so, actually. So they didn't actually follow his command when he said, let the dead bury the dead. They didn't listen. Yeah, they weren't paying attention. They didn't listen. So thankfully, like, I wasn't there. Thankfully, these guys weren't really paying attention, because like 2,000 years worth of all this human race that we all know, would have never happened. Yeah, because he would have came back to life on the cross and the end. Yep. Yeah, so if they would have actually been paying attention and listening, when he commanded, let the dead bury the dead, yeah, things would have been completely different. It would have been like the end right then. 3 days after they killed him, he would have came back to life. Everybody would have been like, oh my gosh, hey, there's still guys on crosses that haven't even died yet, and he's already come back to life. Anyway. So, yeah, there's all these little details, and I'm not trying to be sarcastic. I'm just trying to say, hey, look, don't take it personal if I point out to you guys what you guys didn't notice. Even the disciples didn't notice some things. They were the ones who kind of recorded all this, right? And they heard what he said, but they weren't really paying attention, were they? Actually. I mean, they recorded it kind of. Like, they remembered what he said, but did they really know what he meant? Did they really understand? Did they understand? Did they understand from within? Did they understand from above? It doesn't seem like they did. It doesn't seem like it, So anyway, there's tons of all these little, like, like microscopic little details that are so big. You know? Well, anyway. I know that's a whole lot of rambling and it's a whole lot of all over the place, but, well, you needed to hear all that, I guess. There's more, but there's a little chit chat. Yeah, I love you guys, and I hope all that made sense to you. Yeah. All right, I'll talk to you later.